Well, if you're watching this, it means it's Star Trek Day, the anniversary of the debut of Star Trek, which took place on September 8th, 1966, with the episode entitled The Man Trap. So instead of complaining about the modern state of Star Trek, I figured I'd complain about a Deep Space Nine book. Um, this was the first Deep Space Nine hardcover. Star Trek Deep Space Nine being the third series, which was launched in the Star Trek franchise. The show was basically created by Michael Piller, who was the man responsible for the success of Star Trek The Next Generation, starting in season number 3. If you notice, if you've watched Star Trek The Next Generation seasons 1 and 2, unless you're a hardcore fan, those series, like the first 2 seasons of that show, are nearly unwatchable. I mean, they're pretty terrible. There's a good episode here and there. I mean, you do get some good episodes in the first couple of seasons. I think Conspiracy from season 1 is good, and like Q Who from season 2 are really outstanding episodes, but that show didn't get firing until season 3. But anyways, this is a review for TNG. The success of TNG led to the creation of Deep Space Nine, and that's what we're here to talk about today, is this novel. This was the first hardcover, and the setting for this book is right between seasons 1 and 2. So it comes right after the episode In the Hands of the Prophets and before the Circle trilogy. So 7 seasons of this show, that's where it's set at. So it's an early episode, and I have to say that my overall assessment of the book, it's not great. It's kind of a middle of the road book. It's not terrible. It really is kind of like a middling episode. It has kind of a darker tone than the first couple of seasons. It feels more like the tone of a season 4 or 5 episode. But the setting, you have the disappearance or the death of Kaiopaka. The events of the episode Battle Lines have already taken place, right? If you've watched this series, you already know about that. And it's okay. I think that the author really struggled to capture the voice of the characters. And I mean, this is really heavy on Bajoran politics, with a group called the Severality Front, which stages a coup d'etat and overthrows the Bajoran government, their provisional government. They're capitalizing on that. And then, I mean, Gul Dukat's in this book, so you get the Cardassian intrigue and everything. But really, this one is one that if you're not a hardcore fan, you could pass it. It's nice to have in my collection. I got this again. This was a pickup I found at a thrift shop, and this book is in excellent condition. I really like the cover work on there. It's got a nice cover painting. It's got the incredible first Star Trek Deep Space Nine hardcover sticker. This was written by K.W. Jeter, and I have to say, I think he's a good writer. I think that maybe the concepts of this book would have worked better as just a generic sci-fi story, because I really like the concept. It's dealing a lot with the holodeck, or the holo suites on Deep Space Nine, and they're augmented holo suites. So they put this technology in there where instead of you interacting with the environment, it beams it directly into your mind, and it's resulting in psychosis, where people are losing the distinction between reality and the real world, or reality and fantasy. The borders between those are being broken down, and people are acting out these dark fantasies, which is resulting in a string of murders on board the station. And this all ties together in the end, between these augmented holosuites, the Cardassian machinations, and this provisional government being overthrown in a coup d'etat. It all kind of ties together. But it's really kind of a middling, story. Again, I like the concept with the holosuites, but this is really kind of the one of the lesser novels. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's kind of middle of the road. So I'd give it right down the middle. It gets a 2.5 out of 5. Straight down the middle. It's nothing to write home about. So unless you're a hardcore Deep Space Nine fan, I would pass on this. I think that it was a nice attempt, but I don't think it was deserving of the hardcover. And perhaps the reason why DS9 didn't get very many hardcovers is because they just didn't get a home run out the gate with this one. This isn't up there. I can't rank this up there with the other books that I've read so far in the hardcover series. So that's all I really got for you. I'm going to do probably in some point in the future a video on why you should watch Deep Space Nine, but I'm not going to do that today. So anyways, thanks for watching. Happy Star Trek Day. Live long and prosper. Peace.